Sharing this on the YouTubes. Bam. See if we can stick with that trade for a little bit there. It's been a great trading day. Awesome trading day as usual. Okay, why is that? I don't know if that thumbnail is going to come through. Save. Going to get knocked out of this trade, aren't I? Aren't we? For those that have been following along on Discord, it's been an awesome trading day. I know I haven't streamed, but I've just been focused on, we're up about 18 Gs. Booyakasha. Share this on all right, let's see how we can trade the actual session here. Okay, awesome. That's a terrible thumbnail there. Why does it do that every time now?
Stop field.
Everyone. All right, got knocked out of that trade there. Don't see any other opportunity. CL, we're not there. As we look across the four charts, crude oil, CL, we do have maybe a sell opportunity, but not a huge opportunity. Gold is in this range. Probably long is probably what you want to look for on gold based on what the daily is showing. What else do we have? We have, well, NQ. We're up about 14.9 on that trade and 45 lots. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Let's put another 30. And then let's do 35, 40. As I terribly manage this trade. Let's see how we're doing. Welcome all. Boom. Welcome all. I know it's hard to see that trade as it unfolds. There we are. You can see it there. Up about 15 something, 16 something. Not a bad trade to be in. Oh, let's start up Telegram. I haven't shared on Telegram for a while. I don't know. I'm working on getting some help on social media stuff. I'm just not, you know. Share on the Twitter. Do I even have this? So we're still targeting the actual 694 area of...
Stop field.
Look at that. We will re-enter if we get knocked out of all this whole trading, of all this trades. If we get knocked out of this position, we will probably re-enter on the long side. It's looking to recapture the weekly open, which is pretty obvious. Pretty obvious in what it's trying to do. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a great time. Tallahassee. Oh, I don't have that browser started. That would be why. My Twitter. We see the SEC moving on Coinbase. Government's trying to flex its muscle against crypto. Is what it is. Let's look at the Bitcoin. Let's look at the Bitcoin. So as you can see, my analysis on, well, the close is what matters. We do see a tap of this key level here on the daily. What did I say? I said that this key level holding is key. So that's what we're watching for on actual CL. Oh, look at that. It's pretty good daily. Pretty good daily candle if that holds up. It's recapturing the RDA. Let's see if Bitcoin holds up. All right. Let me put this over here. Boom. Pull up. Any questions anybody has about anything? Any trades? Any charts you want to see? Kind of waiting to see whether or not this trade's going to work out in our favor here. What time did you start today? I've been trading all day. Y'all don't want to see my P&L today. Driving? Okay, be good, Mr. Kinfert. Welcome, Conroy. And, oh, streaming? Oh, no, I haven't been streaming. Us 30 if you may. Oh, yeah, I will. I'll look at US. He's doing good. So I've given Tony some, or we've talked. I haven't.
Stop filled.
Tony and I connected here today, and we talked, and we kind of set the strategy for the rest of the summer. So I'm excited about that. I'm also trading in Sierra chart. So let's buy limit there. Boom. USXD. Yeah, so let's look at US 30 for someone that asked. US 30 is all right, we're kind of in the same mode we were yesterday, but not really. We're looking for obviously our momentum indicators and our RDA. So for those that are new, the first thing you'll want to do, yeah, Tony is my nephew. Yes, Tony is my nephew. For those that are wondering, and he will be transitioning to Live Capital. He did kind of blow up the small account challenge, which I was a little. I mean, I'll do a video separately on that. Just share my thoughts. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go back to my room. Okay, so US 30, sorry. It's obviously this zone here. This whole zone here is important. And then obviously this candle here. So if we just do simple analysis, we just do, okay, let's just do, look, I don't use Fibonacci. I use what works better than Fibonacci, which is these numbers here. So you can see it's holding the 50 right now. The next is right around the RDA. So I would be a buyer. I mean, well, we can't trade this in the United States. But if I could, I'd be a buyer in this range down to this level here. And then from there, I'd be watching the 60-minute to kind of see how it's actually going to transpire. Obviously, it lost the weekly. You can see this zone aligns with, so I'd almost align this zone like this. I'd be a buyer in this range. It aligns with a previous weekly open, kind of an inflection area on the 60-minute. That would be kind of where I'd be a buyer. Now, it is trying to hold the RDA on the 60-minute time frame here. So that's something to keep in mind. That's definitely something to kind of look at as far as what you would be looking at. Can everybody hear me okay? I moved my mic a little bit, make it a little bit more comfortable. So Tony will be my nephew. Will be starting to
stop filled.
Thanks, for sharing.
Stop filled.
We got stopped out. Let me see what we want to do with this trade. Hold on. My nephew will be starting another demo account at 3K. We're in the process of funding, and there's some things kind of behind the scenes we got to work on for funding. And then he's going to stream. Well, when I go on vacation, he'll be streaming more, but he's going to stream the end of the day. Conroy, I'll answer what the RDA means. I'll look at the Ruddy too. We'll look at the Ruddy. That stop field sound is massive. Please turn it down somehow. Yeah, I don't know how to, well, I guess I can see. Depends where it's loud. Let's see if we can go here. OBS, desktop audio. I can share. I can remove, or I can reduce the sound on the desktop audio on OBS. There, that should help. Well, you'll be able to find out here as I get knocked out of this trade.
Stop filled.
Hopefully that was better. Oh, we're in. Ooh, I don't like that trade. I do not like that trade. I think we need to flatten there. Don't like the way that's playing out. Yeah, we need to flatten. Hold on 1 second. There we go. There we go. So as we look at the chart, it's still trying to, the weekly open is well within sight. We're not in any trade right now. I think what we need to do is we need to figure out what is our control. Right now, if we look at the levels, we've got a level on the NQ right around 580, and then we've got another level right around 530. So Conroy, you asked, what is the RDA? The RDA is our bias indicator. And so the bias indicator tells us whether or not we should be biased long or short. And
Order filled.
And that is, it's a free indicator on TradingView, at least at this time. And that's the yellow line that you see on every one of my charts. And that tells us whether or not we should be long or short. It gives us the bias for the market. It's actually a reaction area as well. I'll share that. I think I have a link to this stuff here. I created a document with all the links to all my indicators, and of course, for some odd reason, I can't find it. Of course. Why would I be able to find something that I created? Ichimoku. Oh, wait till we get into the Ichimoku a little bit more. Is there a way to use the RDA with KuCoin futures? I don't think KuCoin futures is supported by TradingView. Yeah, it is. I mean, Kevin, just go through trading. I mean, you can go, like, so for instance, just, you know, ARB. I added some ARB USD today. You can go to KuCoin right here, and then you're looking at it right here. So on this pullback, I added to my ARB position. Look, for me, ARB, it's real simple. With ARB, it's either going to go it's either going to go to what I believe will be 550, or it's going to go to 0. That's how I'm trading ARB. Push it to the limit. That's actually from Scarface, that push it to the limit song. That's what I use for Sierra Chart's alerts. So I'm trading on Sierra Chart too. So when I enter a position, that's the alert. I don't know why I chose that audio. I just decided to choose that audio. Don't ask me why. But that's the push it to the limit song on Scarface, which arguably most people think is one of the worst songs on Scarface, the push it to the limit, that whole montage. I kind of like the song though. We're only in 5 lots. Come on, man.
Order filled.
Give us more.
Order filled.
All right. So we're going long on the NQ. Nothing else on our board looks promising. And that is a fade trade at this point in time. We are fading the market, but we expect that it's probably going to touch, at least at a minimum, touch the weekly open. That's what we're targeting. Weekly opens around 1577. If we look at the actual NDX, we can see the NDX is flirting with the same type of thing. It's recaptured the daily open. So I think what we do is we call the bluff on any pullback. We call the bluff as heavy as we can. Without getting too aggressive here, because we are going into the last 90 minutes of the market. Push it to the limit, as Biggie said. Baby, baby. Did the stop Morteza? Did the stop sound improve? I did turn it down. And Conroy, did I answer your RDA? And then we'll look at the Ruddy. Someone asked us to look at the Ruddy. So RTY. Boom. Oh, look at that. Holding the day. So here's a little kind of tidbit take a recent high, take a recent low. Look at that, right at 50%. I saw that immediately. So here's the thing. Thanks, I appreciate it. No, I'll make sure that I kind of keep it at that level. So, 3 or 4 closes above the 50% line, almost guarantee that the ruddy is going to take out this high at 2006. So that's one thing I'd be watching on the ruddy. Also, as you can see here on the daily, it's recapture momentum, it's recaptured bias. So at this point in time, if you're trading the 60-minute, you've got the weekly open here. But if this weekly open holds, then you're pretty much long. So where would be the next target? I would be looking on this. Well, our next zone is obvious, right around 1907. So at a minimum, it's probably going to hit 1907 before it has a major sell-off. Right in this area here. That's what the chart tells us. At a minimum. So I wouldn't be a heavy seller until around this range here. Probably this range in here. It's probably where I would be a heavy seller. But at this point, I'd be cautiously long. I'd be calling the bluff on any pullback. We've got the RDA on the 5-minute right at 1843. So if it does pull back there, I'd be a buyer there. That's the first touch in a long time. So if it does pull back to 1843, even in the overnight session, that might be a good buy area. We're up about $1,200 on that. If you're just joining us, you'll definitely want to join below. If you're watching on TradingView, or if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see in the description, join Discord. That's the best place to kind of engage and join. Is join Discord. Best place to ask questions, and I answer questions. We do see the SEC. Yeah, I agree with, I think, I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked deep into it, but it feels like this is a very coordinated move in the middle of summer against crypto to set up a... So for those that are not wondering, let's go to my site. I want to highlight this, not my P&L. I want to highlight Bitcoin. So here on this analysis, one of the things I say in this analysis, and I'll go back to our trading so we're not. So it's 1385. We're in about 20 lots on the NQ. See if we can get picked up on another pullback here. And then another aggressive pullback here. See if we get picked up here before it hits the daily. So, we need to really watch here. If it hits the weekly open, it's probably going to pull back pretty massively. Could. But it looks like it's going to actually recapture it. So in this analysis here, if we go to the end, one of the things I say here, obviously we have a lot of graphs and a lot of breakdown here, statistical analysis. But one of the things I say in this document is that I believe the next crypto or the next Bitcoin move up is going to be, you're not going to be able to onboard as far as a quote unquote normal person through normal exchanges. And this move by the SEC is exactly what, let me see. Really from page, if you read from page, if you want to know what I think is going to happen over the next 6 to 12 months in crypto, from page 61 of this document, and I'll share the link to it, 61 on shares what I think is going to happen here in this next cycle of crypto, if you're interested. If you're interested in crypto and you're interested in someone that's kind of been in crypto since 2016 or so, been trading crypto, believes in crypto, that would be what that's my assessment of what's going to happen. And the headline from that is, hold on. No. Why didn't you come get me?
Order filled.
Look at that. Exactly as we predicted. Pull back, pick us up, man.
Order filled.
All right, this is going to be a little hard trade here. Yeah, I agree on the oil thing. Here's our next entry area, is right here. So we're kind of calling the bluff that the weekly's not going to fail, or the weekly's it's going to surpass the weekly open. So that's what we're kind of doing there. We're in about 30 lots. Yeah, 30 lots. So once again, what I was saying is, so far the SEC and these moves are kind of what I expected, and what I expect to happen in crypto, Bitcoin specifically, is this next move up is going to be so fierce that you, as a person that does not have access, so you won't be able to buy Bitcoin for, I think, you won't be able to transact and take Bitcoin off of an exchange for a period of anywhere from 3 to 12 days is what I don't know why this, like I said, I don't think I've meditated on it, but I've really kind of analyzed it, and I thought about, okay, what's the scenario that I see playing out? I think Bitcoin's going to move at multiples of speed, and you're not going to be able to onboard to Bitcoin at a decent price when it does this, because what's going to happen is Bitcoin's going to become a big boy and big girls club. That's what's going to happen. And these latest moves by the SEC into crypto are right along with what I predicted in this Ultimate Bitcoin analysis that I released 2 years ago. So this is 2 years old. Maybe it's a year and a half old. I don't know how old it is. A lot of the things that I actually put in this document, and I'm not saying this to like say, hey, I toot my own horn. I'm more correlating that, hey, even the fundamental analysis that the system does, which is freaking amazing, is spot on. Even when we use the system, this is what's, I know it sounds like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying not to be arrogant, but I guess the way I would describe this is, I'm not responsible for the system. The universe created the system that I trade, and that you have the opportunity to trade, and that for the time being is publicly available. Soon it won't be publicly available. Soon we're going to ghost. We're getting closer and closer to ghosting and just rolling with the alphas that we have right now and moving forward. Need a few more things in place before we actually completely ghost. But right now, the system, everything we have is publicly available. There will be one day where we're going to wake up and we're going to flip that switch and we're going to ghost and we're going to go stealth. I mentioned that because that's the way I want to go out. But I don't feel any ownership in the creation of the system. For whatever reason, the system or the universe, through my hard work and effort and blood, sweat, and tears, provided me with the insight to create a highly effective trading system. I asked the universe for it. I put in tremendous amount of work. I had the right belief behind it. So I'm in awe of it every single day as well. And I know that kind of a weird coming from someone that's a trader, I guess. I don't know if it's weird, but I just, I mentioned that for people that maybe are wondering where some of this comes from. And that's where some of this Bitcoin analysis comes from as well, which is I'm more right than I'm wrong. And I don't attribute that to me being smart. I attribute that to me tuning into the universe and developing a speculation system that is highly effective. I mean, that's just the truth. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know why I got off on this tangent. Probably because I'm trading or I'm streaming and the charts are extremely boring right now. And there's no clear thing to do except for just sit here and just run my mouth. Yeah. Yes. And I'll share that. So you go here and you go to scripts. You'll see all my scripts that I have shared. These are the scripts that I have shared. We did release, through the help of Banger, an alpha in our RD opening range initial balance indicator. That's a pretty awesome indicator. It's a very clean opening range indicator. We have the RD key levels, which is the weekly, daily, and previous VWAP, which is extremely valuable. These are free indicators. I've got the market crashes. This lists out the last 7 market crashes that you can plot on your chart. So then you can look at other charts, or you can look at all charts, all markets, and you can kind of see how did it behave during these time frames. That's completely customizable as well. So you can see here are the market crashes that it covers. These are all free indicators. What is this? That's not free. Oh, the RDRSI indicator. And then the one that we're talking about is the Rexdog. This one here we're working on. I'm working on. This market bias indicator I'm working on. I'm working on an update too, which would be pretty sweet. Rexdog average with ATR. That's probably the one you want to look at. This one has the ATR bands, extreme bands, and everything else. Boom. So that tells us whether or not we should be long or short. It's a reaction area. These extreme bands are extremely reliable for predicting where price is going to go. Price will reject. And you're going to discount it probably once you look at it, because what is it? It's the Rexdog average is a simple average of 6 moving averages: the 200, 150, 24, 9, and 5. And I know most people will discount it. Not most people. Some people might discount it. But it's highly effective. What I would suggest you do if you want to use it in your own system is do this. Put it on your chart and then go look at all the markets you trade and see whether or not price reacts around the RDA and the extreme bands, and see whether or not it provides you with an edge as far as where to trade or how to trade or what bias to have in the market. Should you be long or short? I think we probably should short the CL.
Order filled.
So we're going to short the CL. We've got a RDA check on chart 2. So we're going to short CL right there. Look at all those cells. Bam. We're long 30 lots on the NQ. Waiting for the move to happen. Might not happen for at least the next actual 18 minutes. Also, I would suggest, if you are interested in getting or in becoming an alpha, that you decide quicker than later, because what we're going to do as we move towards stealth is we're going to increase the price from $9.97 one-time fee, includes all indicators, all training, everything that we add to then $5,000 here in the next couple weeks. So before we do that, I want to get a couple things in place before we make that change. And I know I have a lot of people that, you know what's amazing? This is what's amazing to me. I have someone recently that joined the training that has been with the group since 2018. Probably almost the first day that I started the Discord group. This individual has been with us, and since 2018, I think last week they finally saw something where they said, "Hey, I'm ready to get started." I've looked at in that time they said that they bought a couple other systems, and 2 or 3 of those other systems are gone, or the people are no longer around. And they said, "You're one of the few people that is still around since 2018 and still plugging away and consistently showing that your system works and consistently out there, kind of living through what you preach, which is I teach people to fish, right? My whole philosophy is to teach people to fish here. Is not, I don't want you to rely upon me. I don't want any of you to rely upon me. I want all of you that are listening or watching this to be able to trade the same way I trade. I want you to trade better than me, actually. I want my nephew to exceed me as a trader. I want every person that's an alpha to exceed me. I want you to take my system, modify it, and make it better. That's really what I want. I don't want people to be dependent on me. I want every person that becomes an alpha, that joins the system, to be a highly effective trader, to take the system, make it their own, and profit 4 times more, 10 times more than I have from the system. That's really my desire. So I do charge for the training. Right now it's yes. Right now it's a one-time fee of $9.97. That's all it is. Includes all training, all indicators, everything else we add, except for CR chart indicators. We've got a separate agreement on that when we release those. But other than that, those will be just a small one-time fee once we finalize the CR chart indicators. But other than that, the swing training that we're going to be creating, for instance, that will be included. The trade yourself out of your job training that we're releasing will be included in that. I've always charged just one-time fee. Part of it is because, like I said, I'm a trader first. I'm not a trainer. I mean, I am a trainer. I take seriously the fact that I'm a trainer and that I have a responsibility, if you join my training, to provide the best training and the best insight into trading as possible. So I take my role as a trainer extremely seriously. But I'm a trader first. Before I'm even a trainer, I'm a trader first. Sure. So George Burt 23 from TradingView is asking, sorry, it's my first time on the stream. Mind giving some background to the training? Yeah. If people don't mind, I'll share maybe a little bit of background. So let me share first. So we're focused on trading. I'm in 30 lots on the NQ. We've got all of our trailing stops are in profit. We're expecting a weekly open test here. We do expect a failure, but I want to see it bust through. So right now we're in 30 lots. We're only in 1 lot on the CL trade here. We're looking to get picked up for maybe a short there, and then for it to take out the RDA and then sell off, maybe hit the VWAP. It's kind of what we have on deck right now. So to answer George, I think your name is George Britt. I'll share just a brief background. So, I started publicly being a YouTuber when I still owned a software as a service business. And I started trading in 2016. I became profitable in 2017. And then I think I started my YouTube channel in 2018, January, I think in 2018. And I didn't have any training, but I previously was out in the social media space. I was doing podcasting before it was cool. I was interviewed on about 100 or so podcasts for my tool that I created. So I was already kind of used to being out in the social space. And I tried to join a couple different groups and find good groups out there, and I just couldn't find any good groups that I thought, well, here's the biggest thing is that what you'll find from me, and if you go through my YouTube channel and a lot of things I talk about, I'd say 80% of what I say goes contrary to what you see from other YouTubers and books that you read. And I don't know why that is, other than the fact that I think most stuff that you read out there isn't written by people that actually trade. It's written by people that actually are trying to sell you something. I trade every single day. That's what I do. It's how I make my income. It's how I've made my income since 2018. My nephew will be transitioning over to that. I have a couple other people that I've trained in real life. We've got alpha members that are starting to transition. So we're traders first. So I didn't really plan to do training, but I just started doing YouTube videos as part of kind of my journaling. And then someone asked in a comment, hey, do you have training? And I said, yeah, I think I could put something together. And within a weekend, I put together training. And then for a couple years there, from 2018 to 2020, I sold the training for just 0.07 Bitcoin, whatever Bitcoin was at. And it was really focused maybe on crypto first. I was trading, I started in Forex and crypto, and then I discovered futures and realized, why would anybody trade anything else other than futures? It just makes so much sense. It's a waste of time to day trade stocks. But so I've traded options, equity stocks, Forex, crypto. I still trade all these things basically, but I trade them in different styles now. And I trade the same system. So I'm watching the charts too. I want to make sure I'm watching the charts. So far, we're doing okay on this trade here. So that's really where the training started. Oh, awesome. I managed my 5 times paper trading account in my first 2 weeks. Do you think this is time to go live? I'll share that here when I get to the end of and I'll end quickly here, so I won't go on too much. But so I really just, in 2018, that's kind of when shortly after starting the YouTube channel, I had training. And then I don't believe in free. I don't think anybody values free. I learned this firsthand. So I've always, so for me, the training income really isn't, it just goes to my trading. Well, right now, my nephew's participating in the income stream of the training. So that's an aspect why I've been more focusing on it, to help him transition from taking or becoming a full-time trader. But for me, the training has always been, I've never made it a focus of what I do. I've always been a trader first. And I always made the promise to myself that if I ever make more money from the training than I do from trading, then I'm a fraud. I'm not a real trader. And I just couldn't live with myself. So, but I also understand people's psychology, and I realized that if I just gave away my training for free, no one would value it. And increasingly, one of the reasons why I stepped away the last couple of weeks, and then I'll get to your question, is that I've increasingly felt that I'm undervaluing my time. So for those that don't know, I have terminal cancer. I get treatment twice every 2 weeks. So I have terminal cancer. I have tumors. I have 4 tumors in 4 parts of my body, or I have tumors in 4 parts of my body. I feel like I'm going to live another 10 years, but I have terminal cancer. So I've had major cancer surgery, for those that don't know. So for me, time is extremely valuable. What I choose to spend my time on is, if I'm not hanging out with family, then it's doing something else that I'm extremely passionate about, that I want to accomplish in life. So I don't know, that's my overview of the training. I still am excited. I get up every single day and I can do anything I want, and I still want to trade. Today I got up and I could have done anything I want. I could have picked up Rex and we could have got in the car and just drove around for the day. But I said, you know what? I feel like trading, and I feel like pulling capital from the market. I also do feel like I also do have an obligation to people that have joined the training, become alpha members, to continue to support them. But I can't, I'll just share this from a perspective of, for those that are looking to make trading maybe you're in a job, or maybe you trading isn't your income. So we're up about 11,000 on this trade. That's not bad. I'm targeting on this day 609, but for a stretch, maybe 688 if it gets there. So we'll give it a little bit more room. So I'll just share from a perspective of someone that, and I'll get into your question about, you've managed to 5 times your paper trading account in the first 2 weeks. Do you think it's time to go live? So I'm fortunate that I've been able to build this up where every single day I get up and I can do whatever I want. I mean, within reason, right? I'll answer your question too, Conroy. How much of my system is intuition? 5%. 5% is intuition. And then you say the fact that your nephew, who has full access to your system but has blown his account, is troubling. Yeah, so I was extremely upset that within 2 days. So let me answer. I can't say the name. The TradingView question, and then I'll answer your question. So we're up 10,000. So I managed to 5 times my paper trading account in my first 2 weeks. Do you think it's time to go live? Here's my recommendation. You should have a trading system that doesn't have losing days. If you trade our system, you should not have a losing day. Our system does not lose. It does not lose when trading correctly. So if you join my training and you go through my full training, one of the things I offer that I don't share is that if you go through my full training and you send me a note, hey, I just went through this section, at the end of the training, as you're transitioning, you can schedule a meeting with me. And there's really no time limit on the meeting. 1 or 2 hours is typically what the meetings are. And then I just make sure that you have fully grasped the system, and that usually by then you're either paper trading, demo trading, or you're live trading. So it's just a good assessment for me after someone has gone through the full training and gone through everything, that we can sit down and I can make sure that you fully grasp all the concepts. Or if you don't have something, I can maybe do a specific video for you or answer specific questions for you. So that's for any, that's something that I don't even advertise, that I just do out the gate. I send that message to everybody that gets started. But I recommend that everybody have 10 green days in a row. After 10 green days in a row, then you trade live capital. The second that you have a red day, you stop trading live capital and then you go back to demo until you have 3 green days in a row. And then if you have another red day, you go back and you have 5 days in a row. So really, any trade system that you adopt should not have a losing day. It makes 0 sense to have a losing day in trading. It just doesn't make any. Now, whether or not you make $100 or $1,000, whatever your realm is, right? You should not have a losing day. So if you're looking to develop a trade system, let's say you're not interested in the Rexdog trade system for whatever reason, and you're looking to develop a trade system, I'm of the opinion, and this goes against everything you see out there, no trade system should have a losing day. It's just a matter of how much you should make. That's the way the market works. And for those that say, oh, that's not possible, that's not what I read, or that's not what this YouTuber said, or whatever else, okay, look at the top 50 hedge funds. Okay, look at the top 10 hedge funds. The top 10 hedge funds of the world, do they ever have a losing year? Now, you might say that they have an informational and capital advantage. Okay. I say bullshit. It's like the 4-minute mile, right? Before the 4-minute mile was broke, everybody said, oh, no human can run 4 minutes, a 4-minute mile. Then suddenly one dude did it, and then a week later, 10 people did it, right? Look, if there's entities in the world that year after year do not lose money trading the markets, then why the hell would you settle on anything less than that? So don't tell me it's not possible. Number one, just go through my streams every single day. Every single day. You can go through my streams on YouTube, on TradingView, and you can see me trade. You can look at the P&Ls. You can look at me trade. Do we lose? Do we have losing days? Yeah, there's been 2 losing days over the last year. That's because I made tremendously emotional mistakes. As far as no. So I'll answer. So I'll answer Conroy's question, then I'll answer the question on TradingView. So how much of your system is intuition, and how much is systematic replicatable? Because you're a human meat machine, it's the real answer is 50-50, right? Why is the real answer 50-50? Because for the longest time, you guys are seeing me execute the trade system the way that it needs to be executed. For the longest time, not for the longest time, I fell into a habit where I was fighting my system and I was fading. I was becoming what I call super fader man, where I would fade the market, and I had plenty of capital to be able to trade myself. I still do. I have plenty of capital to trade myself out of any trade. That's a terrible way to trade, and I was oftentimes fighting the system. I've since really focused the last 3 months on correcting that, and I still have some work to go, but as most people have seen over the last couple weeks, I'm starting to trade my aggressive style with the system. So I can give you a perfect system, but the river. But if you can't emotionally follow it, and that's kind of what upset me about. I was pretty upset with how the small account challenge went with my nephew. Here's what I was expecting. I was expecting him to get frustrated. I was expecting for him to be a sniper with it. And after about a week and a half, for him to just kind of be oscillating between like so he started with $500. I was expecting him to oscillate between $700 to $1,000, just because it's really hard to trade a $500 account. You got to be a super sniper with it. The fact that he basically blew the account in the second day, there was reasons for it, but I wasn't exactly excited about it. The reasons for it is that he was feeling overconfident, and he decided to stream his trading. And on that stream, if you watch his trading it, he was in profit a lot of times. He just didn't take profit. He just wanted more out of the trades. He emotionally was caught up on streaming. Emotionally, he wasn't following the system. He wasn't trading the system. He was trading emotionally, and probably some of the ego came into play as well. It is what it is. So here's what we've recalibrated on. I believe the small account challenge was great. It's kind of BS. I said it was BS anyways, because to me, it's giving false hope to people that only have $500 and say that you're going to turn that $500 into $10,000 or whatever. I could probably do it. It would be a tremendously stressful and hard for me to do it. But at my skill level, I could probably do it. I just have to be extremely focused and disciplined. Here's the real start for him. And this is what I've asked him to do. Reset his demo account to $3,000. That's the proper minimum funding level. And then I would like him to document him growing that $3,000 to $10,000. In that documentation, he's going to be streaming his results. He's not going to be streaming trading. It's too hard to stream trading. I can do it because it took me a tremendous amount of effort to do that. So we're up about 16,000 on this trade. Let's see. We're going to take some profit probably around this area here. Well, let's just trail our stops. Not a bad trade here to be up around 17 grand, I would say. I think we're going to take some profit there.
Order filled.
Took 5 off. I'll take 5 more off.
Order filled.
Took 10 off. Just because it's at a reaction zone. It might stall here. And then we'll put the rest of our... There we go. So to answer your question distinctly, the fact that your nephew has full access to your system but has blown his account is troubling thoughts. It's not the system, it's him. So he wasn't trading the system. So it's, that's the problem. That's the one challenge with trading, is that it still requires the meat machine. Well, for now. Some of you alphas, or I'm not going to get into that. It still requires a meat machine to actually execute the trades. And the meat machine, which is, me or you, we oftentimes, here's the biggest challenge with the system. And this is going to sound so odd to most people. I'm just checking the charts, making sure that I'm where I want to be. Yeah. Okay. So up about 11,000 still left on that position. I don't know if I want to add yet. It's 204. So we got an hour left in the market. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a short around 620. Yeah, we'll look for a short around 620. Give me a second. I just need to do some more analysis. Yeah, so right now we're targeting 620. We'll look for a short around 620. But then what we'll do is we'll short real quick, and then we'll probably go long again. So that's what we'll look for. So depending on how it gets there, that's kind of the plan right now. Chart 4 is our control. So chart 4 is our control. So yeah, I'm a little upset that he blew the account within 2 days. But here's how it's going to work. He's going to start with 3K demo account. He's going to document this. And then as he gets closer to 10K, then we'll transition him to trading live capital. I have no doubt that he's going to make it because the system works. So I have no doubt that he's going to make it. It's just that, can he emotionally... Here's something that most of you will realize. And so I want to speak directly to alpha members, all alpha members that are listening to me, okay? This is what's going to happen to you with the system, and I'm just going to share this with you, okay? Because it's happened to him, it's happened to everybody else that I've trained in real life, and it's happened to me. When you're trading the system, it's going to feel like you're cheating. It's going to feel like it's too easy. And you're going, and just like many of the other things that I share on YouTube and everything else, it's contrary to what you read out there. It's like, for instance, for someone to come on YouTube and say, well, your system shouldn't have a losing day. You don't hear that from many other YouTubers or many other books or any other traders, right? Well, just tune into my streams every single day. Is that apparent? That's all I have to say. I don't even need to say anything. Just tune into my streams. Is it apparent? So I'm living proof of it. So alphas, I want you to hear me, okay? You need to trust the system, but there's going to get to a point when you're trading the system that it's going to feel easy. It's going to feel like a hack. It's going to feel like a cheat mode. And you just need to be dumb. You just need to be stupid. And you just need to trade the system. Because when you do it, that's what... You wonder why I had those bad days where I lost 49,000 on one day or whatever. It's because I still needed a challenge. I got up every day and it was too damn easy to trade the system every single day and just pull capital from the market. And I lost sight of what the hell this is about. This is about pulling capital from the market and putting it in my pocket. It's not about having a challenge every single day. And I had to find other means to have a challenge, because when I was trading, I wasn't challenged because it was too damn easy. Like this trade here that I'm in was too damn easy. I know I don't really give a fuck anymore, to tell you the truth. Because I know our end state. Our end state, I already know what it is. Our end state is that we're going to stealth and we're going to go ninja with the alphas that we have, and we're going to create generational wealth that's going to protect future, that's going to protect freedom for the future. That's my ultimate why deep down inside. Of course, there's also then to have capital for my family and everything else. But so I'm very, very satisfied with the end state that we have planned and what we're doing. I'm very satisfied. I'm very satisfied with the partnerships that we're creating and the relationships that we're building behind the scenes that I haven't fully shared with everybody, that all the alphas are going to benefit from. I'm very excited about a lot of these things. Because I've been one to, I've learned in my life, you don't talk, you do. And part of the problem with streaming is that I talk too much and I don't do. So I don't talk about a lot of things because I'm more focusing on what's better. Look, if I came to you and said, look, I have a trade system that is awesome, easy to trade, it feels like a hack, and it doesn't lose money. Well, you're not going to believe me if I told you every single day. But if you can watch me stream every single day and I do it every single day, you're either extremely dense because you think that I'm somehow gaming the system. I don't know how the hell I would be gaming the system. Or you just don't believe your eyes. So I don't care either way, because I am comfortable with the end state. I'm comfortable with what we're doing. And I'm focused on the people that have raised their hand, become alpha members, and that actually want to take what the universe has actually given me in the Rex Dog trade system. It's not me, it's the universe. I don't, So let me share a story. So Conroy asked something. Morty, thank you. Thanks for saying that your life story shook you. Like AC/DC, you shook me all night long. Conroy, I'm considering becoming an alpha. I know you're raising your price and you don't believe in testimonials, but is there where I can track an alpha? So an alpha member shared a P&L recently, or shared a story. Here's the reason why I don't, and I'll just share why we'll never have testimonials, okay? I want every person that becomes an alpha to be skeptical. Even though that, like, when you become an alpha, I want you to still be skeptical. I don't want you to feel warm and fuzzy inside. Because you need to be skeptical. Because what you need to do is here's what other trainers don't tell you, which is complete malfeasance on their part. They don't tell you that only they can trade their system. That's what they don't tell you. I'm firmly of a believer that you can trade my system if you take. So my system is called the Rex Dog system, named after Rex. My nephew can't trade my system. What my nephew has to do is he has to take the knowledge in the system, and then he has to make it mold within his mind and his psyche in order to trade it. He has to make it his own. He has to make it the nephew elite system. Now, it could be 95% the Rex Dog system, but there has to be an element of it that he actually is pulling the trigger on it. He's the one pulling the trigger. So I'm of that same belief. And that's why I want people, that's why I'll never have testimonials, because testimonial makes you feel good and warm and fuzzy. I want you to be skeptical, because going into the training, what I want you to do, every section of my training, every indicator that I suggest you use, every piece of knowledge that I give you, what I want you to do is say, no, that can't be true. This dude, no. I mean, he showed me on this chart for 45 minutes that this works, but I don't believe it. I'm going to go prove it to myself. That's what I want you to do, because until you prove it to yourself, you're not going to trade it with conviction. So the biggest thing that most trainers don't tell you is that they can't give you a system on a plate and tell you to trade it because you don't believe in it. You need to believe in a system to trade it with conviction. So this trade I'm in right now, we're up around, it was a fade trade when we entered this trade, but it was the trade that existed on the chart that we were here. I stuck with this trade because I was based on chart 4, my control chart. I was convinced that 620, based on our system, was the actual target for this move. That's why I went long where I did. That's why I traded what I did. The system said that basically, based on how chart 4 was arranging and based on the actual confirmation signal on chart 2, that 620 is the most likely target. And we had a stair-step pattern on chart 4. Long is the trade to do. But I traded that with conviction. Once I got into that trade, I didn't put my stops too close. I gave it enough room to work out. I gave it enough time to work out. I also known that we were in the afternoon session. I will answer the question that someone asked about the different sessions and trading, whether or not the system trades at a better time frame. But before I do that, I want to get back to the alpha. So someone did share an alpha thing, and I hesitate in sharing this because they shared it just with the alpha den. They didn't share it publicly. But where was that? Who was that shared? They made like 43 grand within like 60 days. So, who was that? Anybody remember who shared that in the alpha den? Because I don't, like I said, they didn't share it publicly. They shared it just with the alphas because I asked them to. They shared a DM with me, and I said, you know what would really help is I know there's other alphas that are in various phases of actually making profits and making this work for them. What would be really nice is that if you would share this story in the alpha den so that others can see, can hear from me. And this is basically what this person, here's what, I can't find it. So I'll just share the gist of it. So the gist of it is, and I wish I had the exact number. Like I said, I care so little about like having testimonials like this because I don't want you to feel warm and fuzzy. I want you to be skeptical. That I don't even know how to find this. I can't remember the exact member that shared it. I'm trying to go through the alpha den. Here's the gist of it. This person shared with me that it was 35K. So thank you, Mick Confart, Mick Fernert. I think we're going to go long again.
Order filled.
All right, so we added to this position. Kind of get a little risky. We're going into the last. We've got our pivot. So one of two things are going to happen. It's either going to sell off here and we're going to blow our profit here, or we're going to get picked up here for an RDA check on chart 2, and then it's going to rip up. So let's not get too aggressive yet. So let's just see. And I'm sorry that I don't have the exact number. So here's what this alpha member said. I just see if I can find it. So they contacted me in DM and they said, "Hey, I think they lost some money or something." And I suggested to them, stop trading live capital, and because they had trading experience. So they've traded before. They had decent amount of capital. And I said, I would suggest you just demo trade until you get it down, have your 10 days. They didn't listen to me, basically. What they did is they basically went through the training and they adopted elements of the system that they liked to their trade system, to their trading style. And within 60 days, I think they made like 35K because they had to make money. They didn't. It was either they made money or they had to go get a job or they had to go do something else. And they basically said, screw that. I have the knowledge. I believe I can do it. Didn't listen to my advice as far as going to demo account first. And within 60 days, they were able to grow their account by 35K. I will just say, full disclaimer, results aren't typical. I don't know what the hell is typical. But that's one story that was shared of an alpha. Like I said, I'm just not comfortable sharing the other alpha stories just because I don't. One of the things that you need to realize as a trader is that it's you against the market. There is not, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Focus on your growth, your daily growth. If you improved yourself 1% a day, the compounding effect of improving yourself 1% a day is astronomical when you look at it. At the end of a year, improving yourself just 1% a day on a skill set, if you just spend 18 to 30 minutes a day on learning something, the compounding effect of that focus after a year, I don't know what the number is, but I think you're like 90% more effective than other people that didn't have that same amount of focus. So if you wanted to learn the guitar, if you just said 20 minutes a day, I'm going to pick up the guitar and I'm going to systematically go about learning the guitar, your daily focus compared to someone that just kind of willy-nilly went about it and just didn't have the same focus, you would be 90% a better guitar player than the average person that didn't do it every single day for just 20 minutes a day. And then when you compound that, the added... So what I would suggest is that focus on your own growth. Focus on your own ability to improve yourself and to benefit from the compounding effect of improving yourself. I know I'm bouncing around here. This is what happens. See, this is the thing. Trading. So the other thing I would suggest for everybody out there that's listening, that's still, is that trading is not about, it's not about trading. Yeah. So Connor, I'll ask you the difference between a fade and a momentum trade. I'll go into that. Trading is about waiting. It should be called waiting. It shouldn't be called trading. What are we doing right now? This is why it's so hard for me to stream sometimes, because if I was not streaming right now, I would be doing other things. I would be writing. I would be working on other things, because I don't need to watch the chart. Every alpha member, this is all you need. You need about a year of chart time. So alpha members, a year of chart time, that's all you need. After about a year of chart time, you're not going to learn anything new. So after about a year of chart time, there's not going to be anything on a chart that you're going to see that's going to surprise you. I mean, of course, there'll be surprise moves. But what I mean by that is the system. Here's the thing. I've traded the system back to the Great Depression. I've traded in the 1967 era. I've traded in the 1987 crash. I traded in various things. I have not traded a historical market with the system where there has been a surprise that an additional chart time would give me more experience or knowledge. So, that's really the key. So after about a year of chart time, it's actually a waste of time for you to sit there and watch a trade. That's why streaming for me is a little difficult, because I kind of do just go on these rants where I just talk and just kind of share stuff, because there's nothing else for me to do. Literally, I'm in a trade. It either works out or not. I have my stop losses on or I have my entries in, and there's nothing else to do. I'm there to pull capital from the market. I'm not there to consistently be trading if the high probability trade doesn't exist. So that's why streaming for me is actually is a little bit challenging, because what do I do with my time? If I'm not streaming, I'm writing, I'm doing other stuff, maybe even I'm playing a game, whatever else. I'm literally not looking at the charts. So that's why sometimes I go off on these rants. So the other question someone have is, I do want to go through this. So someone asked about the time of day. So I'm going to be doing, I think I'll do this as a YouTube video. So I've done a lot of study on this, okay? And here is the market subsessions, okay? Can everybody see this? What this is the market has certain personalities, and these are predictable personalities. How old are you? I'm almost 50. So the market has certain personalities, and this is over many different studies, or me trading the markets, all markets, and this is this is how I view the market. Now, as far as how does the system fit in, these are just good things to know. So, for instance, the overnight session, this is primarily focused on the futures, okay? The overnight open is 3 hours. So that's from 5 o'clock market time to 8 o'clock. That is the overnight open, and that is the day open is set, the overnight opening range is set, and the previous day price action or opening range is important, okay? This will help you understand how to trade the overnight session. And then you have overnight market opens. Now, this is primarily from a U.S. perspective, obviously. You have the London Open, which is an increase in liquidity, and then you have the Asia Open. Now, on the London Open, you have the initial balance in the opening range. I call the initial balance the first 30 minutes. I know that's not exactly accurate to how we should, but that's how I like to term it. And then we have the pre-cash market New York Open, okay? So this is 1 to 3 hours to the market open of the New York Open. There is usually an opportunity for what's called a snapback trade. A snapback trade is that a trade, the market tries to get to the previous close of the previous day. If it's far extended from that in the overnight session, that is usually 1 to 3 hours to the pre-market. And then you have the market open. You can get good analysis when the market opens, the New York market, the cash market opens. The first 3 minutes can tell you something tremendously about the first 60 minutes. The first 15 minutes gives you more confidence that the first 3 minutes of the market action is correlating with the direction that you would think it would be. And then I call the initial balance. I know this is not the right terminology, but I like to call the initial balance the first 30 minutes. Typically, after the first 30 minutes, you're going to see a pivot in the market. And we're going to look at that here. I'll show you that. Let's actually just go through that here in a second. So let's look at today.
Order filled.
Oh, look at that. Boom. So we're getting caught up, or we're getting picked up on a sell. So let's see this. So here is the market opened right here. So the market opened actually right here at 8:30, opened right here. And we can see on the first half hour, which is right here, there wasn't a pivot. But there was an important aspect of what happened. What was the important aspect? Let me make this larger so you can see this. This orange and white line is the weekly open. So this area right here is that first pivot. And it tried. So what it did is it went and recaptured the weekly open, and then it tried to sell off. But what did it do? It held momentum. See that right there? See the orange and white line? It held momentum. So when you look at, well, what's the first pivot? If we go back to what I was talking about here, you've got initial balance, the first 30 minutes, sometimes a momentum or fade pivot. What that means is within the first 30 minutes, typically what you'll see is a move in one direction and then a try in the opposite direction. So right around 9 o'clock, which is right here, we actually don't have that. We do have a try, but then it continues to move up, and it continues the momentum move of trying to recapture the weekly open. And I said this in Discord earlier today. I said that it's all about the weekly open today. It's whether or not it's going to recapture the weekly open and hold the weekly open. It's still about that. That's what it's still on. And that's actually on the index. It's not really on the actual, it's more about the index. So can the index hold the weekly open is what the trade that's unfolding right now. We're going into the last half hour of the market. If we go back to yesterday, I think there's a better show yesterday. Where are we at here? Better view yesterday. Yeah. All right. So here's the same type of view. So yesterday, market opened, came up, kind of made a high, and then at the half hour mark, what did it do? It gave you a pretty decent sell fade opportunity right here, right in that range. And what did it do? It sold off, but it did the same thing it did today. It held momentum. See how it held momentum? We also get an RSI signal here, held momentum, and then it continued up. And then you'll see here right around the actual 930, which is the opening range. So the next thing on our list, we have the initial balance, and we have the opening range, which is the first 60 minutes. We have the first 60 minutes of yesterday, if we just go to yesterday, was right here. Right here. That is the opening range. And then once that hit, it remained momentum long until right around the lunch session. And then it rolled over. There's two things I want to highlight from yesterday that I want you to keep in the back of your mind. So I'm going to remove all these. I want you to see two things, okay? Momentum shifted twice yesterday. If you view the market through momentum, you're going to be extremely successful. The market, I don't use the word trend because momentum is highly effective. So let me show what I mean by that. Right here, before the market opened, the market became momentum. Sorry, that's way too big. Momentum and bias long right here. Became momentum and bias long. At 5:40 my time, the market became momentum and bias long. From that point in time, there was not a close below the RDA, and momentum, as far as long momentum and long bias, was not lost until this point right here. And this is not even using the 4-chart setup. If I pulled up the 4-chart setup on this, you would be able to see the confirmations on multiple charts and you'd be like, holy crap, that's friggin' amazing. This is just viewing the market through momentum. So from 540 all the way till 1225, the market was momentum long. All you had to do is buy at the key reaction areas where the system told you to buy on momentum checks. That's all you had to do. You just had to be stupid. And then when momentum officially switched, all you had to do is be stupid again. And I know I'm using the word stupid. You're not supposed to use the word stupid. But look, this is how momentum long, bias long. It shifted right here. Momentum and bias long shifted right here. All you had to do is be stupid again and sell the market. And you would have been on the right side of the market. Look at this. This is what's friggin' amazing about the system. You would have been on the right side of the market for 81 bars, 6 hours. If you would have been stupid again and just gone off the 5-minute chart, this is not even using the 4-chart setup, and been stupid, you would have been on the right side of the market until you were wrong for another 80 bars and 7 hours. That's if you were trading the overnight session, obviously. But look, for those that know the system in alphas, I want to reinforce this to you. At any point in time here, did momentum shift long? Any point in here? No. It didn't shift long till right about here. And then what did you have to do? You just had to be stupid again. Here is a little bit of an overshoot, so that would have been a little bit painful. And then here is that major sell-off based on the open. So once the open happens, then all bets are off as far as, because when the open happens, the market's trying to figure out what does it want to be. So until you have that first 15 minutes or so, you really don't have enough informational knowledge. You can trade it, but you're trading chart 2. You're trading aggressively. But typically, you don't see me trading in the first 5 minutes, and there's a reason for that, because the market hasn't really decided what it wants to do. Even here, once again, now I know someone in Discord said today was a hard day to trade. It was actually a really great day to trade, and there's a reason for that. Is that every single day, typically, there is one or two control charts. And that is either chart 4 or chart 3 or chart 1. So in our 4 chart setup. Today it was chart 4. All you had to do is just trade, make chart 4 your control, and it was easy to trade. And I know that seems odd because you're seeing here, well, I didn't have to, we do have a momentum shift here. We have a momentum shift here. And then we have a momentum shift here. But if you would have used the strong levels on chart 4, you would have been on the right side of the market more than you were on the wrong side of the market. That's what the system really told you today was, hey, use the strong levels of chart 4. We're still waiting for here the last half hour of the market, whether or not we're going to hit our 620 area. That's what the system tells us right now. But we are maybe losing the RDA on chart 2. If we do get a close below 485 spot 75, it might sell off. So we might reverse our position here. Let's go back here. Let's see where we're at. Jesus, CL trade is just not moving. So Conroy asks, I've been watching your videos. Can you remind me the difference between a fade and momentum? Yeah. So here's the difference, and I'll use let's use CL. So we're going to look at the CL chart here. I'm watching the charts because there's going to be a minor pullback here. It's going to probably get volatile here in a second. So at this point in time, right here in the chart, see how the yellow line and our other indicators are all above each other? The chart is momentum long and bias long. So if you went long in this anywhere after this point in time, you're with bias and momentum. If you sold the market at any point in this time, you were doing a fade trade. All a fade trade means is that you're fading the market. You're fading the momentum of the market and the bias of the market. Now keep in mind that one chart could be momentum long and short, and then another chart. So for instance, this is the 5-minute chart. If we went to the 60-minute chart, you can see the 60-minute chart on this here. We're currently in a momentum long and bias long environment, meaning that we should have more of a bias towards the long side. And then these are our reaction areas here on the 60-minute. So on the 60-minute, the higher time frame, we're in a momentum long and bias long environment, meaning that we should be thinking more long. We should be looking for more long trades. Ooh, there we go. We got to pull back. I need to watch this. Sorry. Can't teach anymore. Just blew some of our profit. Let's see how we're doing. All right. Now we need to be very careful that there's not a deeper pullback here. We're watching chart 4. Chart 4 is our control. Our immediate level is 4.6. So we've got a momentum check here that we got to watch for. We're looking for some kind of alpha candle. We do have a switch over on chart 2. That's a little concerning. So this became a fade trade on chart 2. We want to see an immediate reaction here because we're running out of market time here. So it better recapture momentum and bias here. Otherwise, we probably should reverse the direction of this trade. We'll give it a little bit more room here to pick up here. Pick up another position. Another couple positions, but we don't want to see a big spike here. Because right now we're fading the market as far as chart 2. So we'll allow these positions to be picked up, but we might reverse them immediately if it looks like it's going to move in the opposite direction. So for those that just joined, you want to join Discord down below. You'll see a link in the description or below the video that says join Discord, both on TradingView and YouTube or wherever else you're watching this. And then if you are interested in becoming an alpha, especially before we increase the price and go stealth and everything else, you'll want to, Either on the website, you'll see a link that says get started now. You can send an email or fill out that form. Or what you can say is, or what you can do is just on Discord, send me a direct message and say, how do I get started? I like to talk to everybody before, just kind of get a feel where your experience level is. Make sure that you have the right perspective on trading and everything else. I don't want anybody to get into the system that doesn't have the right perspective, the right mindset. Very careful about who we let. When you say strong level on the chart, Ford, do you mean like strong support level on that chart? Captain E, are you an alpha or are you, because this will depend on how I answer this question. So when I say strong level, there's a very specific definition to what is a strong level on chart 4. There's a very specific definition to that. Strong level typically is you look left and you don't see any other strong level, or you don't see an immediate. A weak level is that it's a weak level, is that it's a level. You do expect a reaction, but as far as using it as a trade, it's a weak level comparatively. Ooh, there we go. Okay, that's not what we wanted to see. So now we need to decide, are we going to reverse or not? Yeah. We better see an answer right here, otherwise I'm going to reverse. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Gave up the weekly open. It's pretty deep sell-off.
Order filled.
All right. There we go. We're in 40 lots. We're in a little heavier than I want to be right now, but let's see how that plays out. I think we're either going to see it immediately react there at that zone, or we're going to see it sell off here. Right now we're going with chart 2. I think we're going to see a sell off to the daily open. We're going to see an exceeding of that. We're probably going to target 517. So that's what we're targeting. A little bit of a loss there. We're in 40 lots. Now what we want to see is we want to see a impulse down on chart 2, but it's not exactly moving, so we might be a little too aggressive. So we'll see here. All of our stop losses are above. There we go. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. Okay, now we want to see that continue. We want to see that move continue. It's got to continue for this to play out. Yeah, it's got to continue and tap the daily open. That's what we want to see. Give it a little bit of room here. We are trading deep into the close. So we are kind of aggressive here at 40 lots, but it is what it is. Trading with the actual momentum of chart 2. So no, I don't. So as to answer the specific questions, we don't have set times of the day, but we do have, back to the life of the trade, we do have specific times. So for instance, all of our pivots are open. We look for pivots at 14:15 and we look for pivots at 15:08. And then now we're on close to settlement. That's kind of where we're at as far as the timeline of what we look at for psychology of the market. Now, we'll see if this continues to sell off. We have one more opportunity to add to this. Ooh, we might want to reverse here too, but we'll see. So so we're going to have to decide whether or not we want to reverse. Do you need permission from you to load some of your indicators on TradingView? ATI asked, do you need permission from you to load some of, well, the free ones, no. The free ones, no. But the ones that are for alphas are private indicators.
Order filled.
All right. There we go. We just washed that. Okay. So no, the free ones, no. The private ones are for members of or alphas. Those are added ones. Sorry, not showing my trade. Come on. I think it's going to recapture the week, or it did recapture the weekly open there. I think it's going to, yeah. All right. So now we're going to give it enough room to rip. That's all we're going to do. It's the only thing we got to do left. We're in the trade. Give it enough room to rip or fail. So I think long is the trade based on the weekly open being captured. With 17 minutes left in the market, you should, I mean, within 2 to 4 minutes, it should rip up. So you better see it rip up here in the next 2 to 4 minutes. Do I think oil's going to go up? Yes, based on what I mean, I'm in a short right now in oil. We're only up about $190. But based on the daily, if we look at that there, we look at CL, boom, CL. If we look at the daily's holding the level that I shared. So the more that it holds this level right here, this 71.30, the higher probability that yes, it's going to go up. If it loses that, then I think it's going to take out this level here. So that's kind of my assessment. That's what the system says. Glock 19. Actually, I don't know what the best Glock is. What is the best Glock right now? It's not a 19. I've kind of got out of Glocks. Now we just wait on this trade. Pretty much, it either moves up in the next 1 to 4 minutes or doesn't. $72.66. Come on, man, jump. There we go. Takes out 591.50. It's gonna take out 602. Takes out 602, then it's gonna go to our ultimate target, which is 620. 620 has been our target all afternoon. Dynamite. In the last 15 minutes, do expect some volatility to increase here. Ooh. Come on, man. You can do it. Recaptured the weekly open. Maybe it retests it here on the NDX. If it retests it, holds it, it's probably going to rip up from there. We've got 2 more minutes that we want to see a move here. I want to see a move by 48 after. I want to see it take out the next level. I want to see it take out the 592 level. It's a little bit higher than that. 592 spot 50. I want to see it take out that level. We should have been a little bit heavier on that CL trade. We're only up $200 on that bad boy. Oh, we're looking at, that's why I was like, why do the charts look so weird? It's because we're looking at the 1 hour. See if that CL trade continues down. All right, let's pull back. We don't want it to close below. Ideally, you don't want to see it close below 578. Close below 578, then maybe it's just going to range out here. It's not going to rip up. Going to give it plenty of room here. I'll give it plenty of, yeah, now we're out of profit. Give it plenty of room here to actually find support on this pullback. And now we do not want to see an alpha candle on chart 2 as far as a red alpha candle. See a red alpha candle, then it's probably going to give up the weekly open. But so far it looks good for holding the weekly open. Pullback's doing what we expect. Now the next level it needs to take out here in the next minute or so is 585 spot 25. Takes out 585 spot 25, then it's probably going to take out the next level, which is right around 592 spot 50. Pretty easy reading chart to chart by chart, or level by level. Level by level. What do you think nat gas prices will do? I still think it's the trade. Well, let's look at nat gas. I still think it's the trade of the quarter. So I shared way back here that I was buying the lows. So I still think it's the trade of the quarter. It's protecting the lows. It's creating a stair-step pattern here. So there's a probability that it's going to continue up and test the RDA. That's where I'll be taking some profit, is at the RDA. So an RDA test is where I'm taking profit. Right now, I'm just buying every pullback at key levels. That's where I think it's going. So where I think nat gas is going, I think it's going to 2.70 at least. I do not like this NDX. Okay, now this is the last chance for it to rip up. We're in the last 11 minutes of the market, cash market being open. It might just range out here and play around with the weekly open, but we want to see an answer one way or the other. We are giving this trade a little bit of a room here to work out. So we're either going to take a loss or it's going to rip up from here, but we want to see it make a decision here. Yeah, so Briggy asked, what an amazing session for learning. Thank you. What is an alpha candle? So an alpha candle is a pay attention candle. I use two terms, a pack or an alpha. It's a candle that's larger than other candles and that you use. And it's usually, an alpha candle is a candle that's in a specific area of a chart that has significance that you can use for price action to trade around. Not every large candle is an alpha candle, but for instance, this candle right here at 11:35 would be signified an alpha candle. Now, why is it a signified an alpha candle? I'll make this larger so you can see. Why is this candle right here an alpha candle? Well, there's a couple things. It is larger than the other candles. So it fits that criteria. The other thing about this candle is it did something really interesting comparatively on how we use our system. This alpha candle here took out the RDA, took out our momentum indicators, and tested the VWAP. So it did something significant. So going forward in this day, this alpha candle can be used as a candle that you can look at. And when price breaches that candle, and we have various rules that I teach in the training about how to understand whether or not this alpha candle is being breached or whether or not it's going to be invalidated. I can tell you right here, once this happened here, once this candle happened right here, this green candle right here, this candle was invalidated. And there was a higher probability that it was going to be taken out. And that's what happened. But you'll notice, and keep in mind, in trading, it's not exact. Nothing's exact in trading. It's all zones. So notice something about this alpha candle that's important, okay? So this candle is an alpha because it is bigger than the other candles. This is another alpha as well. But I want you to notice something about this candle. So notice what happened when it came to the open, when price came back to the open of this candle. See, when it came back to the open of this candle here, it sold off. So, well, now you might say, yeah, this is just standard price action, whatever. Okay, yeah, great. You know, you can, you should say that. It is standard price action. But the fact that you can define an alpha candle and you can know that if this alpha candle is tested, that there's going to be a reaction here, and then that reaction gives you a trade opportunity to short the market in a fade environment, is a trade opportunity, is something you should have in your trade system. So when I say an alpha candle, this is an example of an alpha candle. Every chart can have an alpha candle. Not every big candle. Typically, if a candle is bigger than the other ones, it is an alpha. But there is more significance in a candle like this, that what it did something significant. What it did is it took out our indicators and it really stopped right at the actual VWAP. So when price got back up to a kind of a key level of this candle, you'll notice at every key level of this candle, 25%, it sold off. 50%, it sold off. 100% of this candle, it sold off. So just knowing that this alpha candle exists and that it did something significant gives you opportunity to predict That's the number one thing that our system does. Our system predicts where you should be trading. That's, most trade systems, they allow you to arbitrarily trade anywhere in the chart. Our trade system doesn't allow you to arbitrarily trade on a chart. Our trade system tells you specific areas where you should expect a reaction, and that's where you trade. You don't just trade anywhere on the chart. You trade where there's a high probability reaction. So an alpha candle is an example of something that's explained in detail in our training that every chart has. So does that make sense? Is that clear? What is ETF HNU? I'll look at that. Yeah. So someone asked, or Glock asked, can you do an analysis of ETF? Oh, the ETF, HNU. My bad. It's like, well, what is I was thinking crypto for some reason. ENU? Is that the ETF? Oh, HNU. Duh. I need to properly. Nat gas. It's going to be the same thing as natural gas. I mean, well, I don't know. It's the same thing. Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? We're in a momentum. I mean, you're in a fade trade. So if you're going long, you're fading the market. And it's really obvious if we look at the 4-day to kind of give us more of an analysis. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I did. Conrad, I did explain the difference between a fade and a momentum, but I can do it again real quick. Actually, there's a video on that. Hold on, shorty. Boom, channel. There we go. We're winning. We're winners. Look at that. Up 10 G's. Not a bad end of the day trade. Gonna sit on this. Let's see if we can continue to run videos. How do I search my channel? Okay, let's go here. We're just going to sit on this trade, give it plenty of room. Up about 13 G's. Not a bad end of day trade. Content. Up about 15 G's. There we go. Boom. Copy link. Here is a video on the YouTubes. Oh, sorry. Conroy, this is my fade versus momentum trade. Oh man, we lost about 3 G's on that. Let's take some off.
Order filled.
I just took some off just because it's starting to get volatile and we'd like to take some profit. We were up about 15 on that, but not going to make as much as we'd like to. Just going to be patient with the rest of it. See how we're going to do. We'll go flat 8 minutes after the hour.
Stop filled.
Got stopped out of our CL trade. So for those that are just joined, or you'll definitely want to join Discord down below. If you're ready to get started as an alpha, or you have questions, you can ask in Discord, or you can send me a DM and say, how do I get started with the best one of the best speculation systems ever created in mankind, the Rexdog, the RD trade system. I do firmly believe that. I do believe that we've created, the universe has given unto me one of the best speculation systems ever created. I don't really I mean, we all go back to dust, right? We all go back to dirt. So it's not something the universe gave me the ability to, what's amazing about the Rexdog trade system, and I've shared this before, you can send me any open, high, low, close data, daily data. I don't care what. Send me any open, high, low, close data, and we can put the Rexdog system on top of it, and it will work. I don't care what it is. It could be weather data. It could be humidity data. It could be rainfall. It could be the electricity generated from a dam. It could be the rise and fall of the Nile River. It could be the amount of blocks in the pyramids. It could be anything. I can almost, Glock, go ahead. One more question. We're going to sit on this trade. We're going to give it 2 more minutes till the market closes. Hopefully we see a rip up and not a rip down, giving it plenty of room. Do you accept payment plan for the program? What will Nat Gas do go up tomorrow? I don't really accept a payment program for the I mean, it's $9.97. So, but you can reach out to me and share maybe your scenario, and maybe we can work something out. But generally, I don't. One of the reasons for that is because here's the thing: if you're, and I do feel generally for this situation, if you don't have enough capital to pay for the system, then you're not going to have enough capital to trade with. So I don't feel great about that whole situation. I don't feel great about if you don't have enough capital to afford the system, what are you going to trade with? Now, I do believe that, okay, here's what I would say to someone like that if you're in that situation without even arguing. If you have the desire, and let's say that you adopted the Rex Dog trade system, the RDTS, and you made it your own, and you traded demo for like 60 to 90 days, and you proved that every single day you were able to eke out a profit, would you be able to find someone that would fund you in your life, that would believe in you? I believe you would. I don't want anybody to join the training with that situation. I'm just saying that I'm sharing that from the perspective of, for those that maybe can't afford the system but that would be interested in it, you need to immediately get yourself out of self-limiting beliefs. Because the only way you're going to get out of your situation is you start thinking differently, and you start realizing that you do live in a time and an era where in most places in the world you have unlimited opportunity. We're only going to make a little bit of money off this trade. Doesn't that suck?
Stop filled.
Yeah.
Stop filled.
There we go. Not going to make our 15 grand. We're only going to make probably about 7 grand on that trade. I don't know about Nat Gas. I'll have to look at the overnight. But I would say if let's say that you're in a situation where maybe you don't have enough money to trade or whatever else, I don't want to give any false hope, so I'm not going to give false hope. But what I would suggest is that if you have the desire to better your life and better your situation, focusing on how to change that every single day is the best thing to do. I can speak firsthand, not from a financial perspective too, but also from a health perspective. I feel pain nonstop every single day. Every single day I get up, I have pain. I've had major cancer surgery. I have an ostomy and urostomy. I have terminal cancer. I get treatment every 2 weeks where I feel like crap. But I still don't. I am starting to relax a little bit more because I do push myself a little bit too hard. But I also don't let this stuff slow me down. You only have one life to live. Getting up every day and focusing on what you can accomplish instead of what you face. Your barriers is the wrong way to go about it. You should get up every day and say, how do I break through those barriers or go around them? Instead of how do I have these barriers limit me? A consistent focus on improving your situation and your state of life is really the way how you get out of any situation. In that Lone Survivor movie, Marcus Luttrell, that Navy SEAL that in Afghanistan, his whole team got wiped out. If you actually read his story and his actual story, it's much more gruesome than the movie ever portrayed. But there was a point where he was basically what he had to do is he drew a line in the dirt, and he couldn't move his legs, and he could only drag himself barely with his arms, and he basically just drew a line and said the next I need to go to the next line. That's how, I mean, he did that for, a couple miles, where basically he just dragged himself, and the only way he did that is he focused on the next line. He drew the next line and said, okay, I'm going to get to the next line. I'm a firm believer that in life, that's kind of one of the things you need to do. All right, we're going to end this trade here in about another 5 minutes. We're up about, I don't know on nat gas. It's hard to say on nat gas whether or not it's going to do. I mean, it does look like it's probably going to continue up. Let's see here. Well, it's all about the weekly open. If it holds the weekly open right here and the daily open right around 2.215, then I have high confidence that it's going to continue up. If it loses this, then it's probably going to test this lower level down around 2152. It's kind of what the chart says. So it's all about the weekly open and kind of how it opens tomorrow. Oh, Bidgie, you're saying someone could join and trade the system for 69 days and then pay? No, what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that, let's say and I don't even really want to mention this, because let's say that, so one of the limiting challenges that people have is funding, okay? Let's say that you created a trade system. Let's say it's not even my trade system. Let's say you don't join the system. Let's just say you created a trade system, and for this next 60 to 90 days, you trade that system in demo, and you show that you have a consistent ROI. Well, then you have something of value that you can then take to someone in your sphere of influence that you would know. Let's say that you're at a situation where you're working a job and you really don't have the capital to trade. Well, there are funded accounts. Like, I know Apex is one of them that I think is garbage. I do think Apex is garbage, but that's my personal opinion of Apex. And this is from people that I know that have been in it, that have terrible experiences with it. There are two other ones that we're looking at, but I won't mention them until we go through and we fully vet them. But you could go the funded account route. The other thing is, after 60 or 90 days, if you have a track record, I believe everybody within your sphere of influence, you'll be able to find someone that you could maybe borrow money from. So that's or someone that would fund you in life. I don't know if that's legal. I don't know where you're at. I don't know if it's legal to say to someone, hey, I've created this trade system and I'm profitable every day for the last 60 to 90 days. Here's my P&L. Could you loan me $3,000? And then here's the scenario. Like I said, I'm just sharing this for people that maybe are I'm sharing this for people that potentially have the mindset of self-limiting beliefs. And I'm saying that the limitations that you have, oftentimes you can find a way around them. That's what I'm trying to share. That's really what I'm trying to share, is don't have self-limiting beliefs. Instead of self-limiting beliefs, find ways that you can actually overcome every one of your limitations, is what I highly suggest. If that makes sense. Or it should make sense. I think we're going to go flat here, just because I think we're at the end of the day. We're at 1507. There we are.
Order filled.
All right, we went flat. Where are we at P&L wise for the day? Let's see where we're at. Hold on, I'm making sure I'm closed out of other accounts too, so I apologize. Any other questions before I sign off, or before we call it a day? definitely join Discord down below. So if you're just first watching, you want to join Discord down below. If you have any questions, have any thoughts or ideas, you can share it in Discord. Like I said, we're there every single day, my nephew and I. I'm just concentrating on something right now. Sorry. Trying to figure out where this other... Trying to see what equity trades I got entered in. Question, Biggie. How long do you think it would take to learn your system and trade it profitably? I really don't know the answer to that question. It depends on your own. I mean, generally, it's going to take you 60 to 90 days to... It depends on your market experience, too. If you have no market experience, then you're coming in completely green. Hey, have a good night, you too. Hello there. Have a good night. If you have some market experience, then it's really... Oftentimes, it's unlearning what you've learned to then learn how the market works and then trade the system. But generally, I say after 30 days, here's the thing. After 6 hours, you understand at a 10,000 foot level how the system works. And then it's the details. So after about 6 hours of our training, less than that, you know at a 10,000 foot level, you can go to any market and any chart and you can look at the system and you can say, okay, I get it. I understand where the momentum's at. I understand the bias. I don't understand quite maybe the highest probability trades and all the rules and everything else. But I understand the system at a 10,000 foot level. It's even less than that, but I'd say about 6 hours. And then after about 30 days, it all depends on how quick you go through the system and how much experience you have. But as quick as possible, I suggest people actually start demo trading. I like to see people demo trading as quick as possible. So that's one of the things I like to see. So I recommend people demo trade as quick as possible. So it all depends on, and demo trading is basically your first... It's kind of you testing the market, or you testing, learning the system. And like I said, for me, I might stream in the morning. It depends. But for me, the focus is having 10 green days. When you have 10 green days, then you transition to live capital. That's the metric. There's no other metric that matters than the 10 green days. Are there training videos of the system, and is there? Yeah, pretty much my system is all training videos. One of the things you can do is you can go to YouTube, and I have over 200 videos on there. So you can get a good feel of how I teach and train. There's different playlists on YouTube as well. So you're going to get a good feel of what's within the training. So I've been trading a couple accounts today. Typically I do trade a couple accounts. But so for instance, this is an aggressive trading account. That is 46,000 on this account. That was the one I was streaming. A little bit more losing trades than I want. I got a little bit too aggressive there. So I really don't like that. But that would be 46,000 is that account. And then the other one that I wasn't streaming is a little bit more than that. And then I was trading on Sierra charts as well. Primarily the NQ. So I'll say P&L from today is 46,966. Not a bad day given ups and downs. But I mean, I hesitate in actually sharing what would be, because it's all individual effort, right? The other thing I would share is that this isn't a, it's not a, it's a marathon, right? This is a skill. Trading is a skill. I don't know how old you are. I don't care how old you are, but once you learn, you can benefit for the rest of your life. So that's the way to look at it, is that trading is a skill that it's like riding a bike in a way. Once you learn how to ride a bike, you know how to ride a bike. Once you learn how to swim, you know how to swim. Once you know how to trade, you know how to trade. The market is the market. The system is the system. Yeah, there's minor differences between Forex and other things, but at the end of the day, once you have a system that you trade and you understand the markets, trading is trading. You still have to ease your way into it, obviously. So you still have to but you know, the simplicity of it is that just because you understand, so for instance, you can watch a video on how a nuclear explosion is created, and you can understand how the 2 nuclear bombs that were used in World War II were built. You can watch YouTube videos on that. Does that mean that you can go and I'm not comparing the trade system to that, but you can understand that at a high level, and you understand how it works. But then actually to go and build it is another thing. Now, the trade system is nowhere near that complex. But that's why within the first 2 to 6 hours, you understand at a 10,000 foot level the system. And then you can go through market after market. In fact, I'll share just this one thing in the, sorry, I only have my P&L page bookmarked and I don't even think I'm logged in here. Let's go down here. And I'll log in here. Oh yeah, everything I do is for a lifetime. I mean, what happens if I stop trading? Well, that's why you shouldn't rely upon me. If I die, well, my nephew's going to continue on. So if I die, and then I've also ensured that everything that I've created will be around for 10 years. But the other thing I'll share with you, BG, since you're asking, is we are going to go south, and we're going to disappear in the future. And then we're going to roll with just the alphas. So one day you're going to get up and probably everything I have is going to be publicly gone. Not probably. Everything is going to be publicly gone. And then we're going to go stealth and we're going to roll with the alphas. There's a few things in place that need to be in place for us to make that happen. But that's how I want to go out. And why? Because I want to be, everything sticks around. I've ensured that there's enough capital and there's enough everything for this to be around for at least 10 years plus. And then my nephew will continue the legacy. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited to have my nephew. Because he's, I was at the beginning of this year, I'll just share, and then this will kind of be the last thing I'll share for today, is that, I was a little, I guess, what's the word? I was losing a little bit of passion at the beginning of the year because I'm not a big legacy person, but I had ensured that everything I've built will be around for 10 plus years. And I created videos and various other things and put people in place that will ensure that the site will be up, the indicators will be there, everything will be supported for 10 years. And there's a trust that goes along with that. That's what so 10 years is to me, the good kind of metric. And then my nephew came over for a funeral with family. And as he was leaving, a couple days before he left, he said, I'd really love to learn how to trade. Could I just stick around? You teach me how to trade. Thought he was only going to stay for a week. He ended up staying for, I think, over a month. And over that month, we really got to bond and get to know each other a lot more. And then also, he just recently got out of the Marines and kind of was looking for a direction and something to do that was meaningful. And became a fit for him to join the Rex Dog system and really continue the legacy. So that's the plan. Now the legacy is that I want to be around for when we go stealth, and because when we go stealth, that is when the badass shit happens. And everything I've been working on for the last 24 months that I haven't been able to share will be put in place to roll with the alphas, and we'll be doing some badass shit. Some friggin' and I will be just satisfied just knowing that I'm part of it. I don't even care about sharing it or sharing the story of it. I just want it to be the stuff of rumors. That's just what I want. Why couldn't you be my uncle? So so this is what I'll share. So one of the things that we have in our training is we have this evidence section, and it's 4 videos. You can see this one's 24 minutes, this one's 30 minutes, and this one's 17 minutes, and this one's 34 minutes. And it's pretty much after you go through the quick start and the basic setup, this is about 2 hours of me walking through market after market, chart after chart, once you have a high level view of the system, and showing you, look, hey, it works. It works here. It works here. It works here. So, and I've been told time and time again, after people go through that evidence section, because we go through every market, Forex, equities, Indian stocks, Chinese stocks, futures, crypto, we go through obscure markets, and we just show that the system works. After that evidence, then people like, oh, okay, I get it. I now it's just, okay, how do I apply this? So, all right, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you have any questions whatsoever, join Discord, ask there. I do plan to stream tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Wednesday? Let's see what we have on the deck as far as news. What do we have on the news agenda? Thursday is usually a news day, right? We have the international trade goods at 8:30, and then we have the petroleum status report at 10:30. And then Thursday we have a big jobless claims consensus at 8:30. And that's pretty much the news. We do have a lot of kind of T-bill news and stuff like that. And then we do have the balance sheet, the Fed balance sheet at 4:30 on Thursday. So kind of there's, before the market opens, there will be a international trade goods and services consensus at 8:30. So that'll probably move the market. And then from there, we'll kind of be trading. So I do plan, hopefully I sleep good tonight, and I will stream in the morning. If you do have any other questions, the best place to ask questions is Discord. I do appreciate everybody that's joined us here today, and I do look forward to seeing everybody here tomorrow and the next day. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day, and hope everybody did some great trading. Let's go out like we usually go. I don't know if we usually go out this way, but let's go out how we like to go out, with Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite. I need to...
I threw that shit before I walked in the room.
All right. See everybody.